Italian Cottage number 1. This is Probricks set PB93101. This building block set consists of 2,248 pieces. It was released for about 80 euros. The bricks used in the set are compatible to bricks by other companies like Lego, Kobe, Mega, and so on. Also, the bricks used here are Go bricks, so that means the quality of them should be near perfect. This set is a licensed mock by the designer Vladimir, who is also known under his nick povladimir on Rebrickable. Or at least he used to, because nowadays all his mocks are no longer visible on Rebrickable. In 2021, Vladimir released a mock called The Italian House, and I think this set should be more or less identical to this mock. I can't be sure because I can't look it up on Rebrickable because it isn't visible any longer. But there is still a little thumbnail visible and it looks identical. One thing that I noticed about this rendered image here of the completed build is that we get to see this flag here. Or what I mean precisely is the print on this flag. I don't think that GoBricks produces these parts here, at least not with the prints. I guess the prints are still protected by Lego. And so I doubt that we will have this piece included in the set, at least not with the print. And so, because of that, I bought one of these pieces on Bricklink, and we just will use a Lego piece instead of whatever comes here in the set. Alright, then now let's have a look at the back side of this box. So, on the box's backside you get to see some more views of the completed build. And I'm really looking forward to build this. This is the second set designed by Vladimir that I'm going to build. The first one was the Fisherman's House, and this is already the third Probricks set that I'm going to build. Besides the Fisherman's House, I have already built the Medieval Tavern designed by Gregor, and this is absolutely one of my favorites. I hope this will also be a fun build, and I also hope that we won't have that many missing parts. The other two sets had some missing parts, and I just hope that we won't miss a critical part here. What else can we see on the box here? Yeah, there is the same information that we already saw on the front of the box, like the dimensions. I guess this is supposed to be in centimeters, so our complete build will be 25.5 centimeters long, 22.5 centimeters wide, and 20 centimeters high. Here we get to see again the brick count, and the only new information here is that it's for 16 years and older. Okay, then let's have a look inside the box. Well, the bricks could have easily fitted in a way smaller box, maybe a third of the size, but that's no reason to complain. As you can see, there are no numbered bags. All the bricks come in unnumbered bags. There are no building sections. So I will open every bag and sort all the bricks by type before I start with the build. That will cost some time in the beginning, but it will save a lot of time during the build because I don't have to look for every brick at every individual building step. As you can also see, there are no printed building instructions. We only got this little card here with a QR code on the backside, with the help of which we can download a PDF file. So we got digital building instructions. I have already downloaded the file, and as you can see, the instructions begin with the inventory, and then everything starts with step 1. Okay, then I'm going to sort my bricks now, and I will start with the build, and I will come back to you as soon as I see something interesting. Step 2. This isn't the most pleasant building experience. Have a look here. We have placed all these plates here. They are all loose, and it's fine as long as they touch each other. But here in the middle, we got loose plates in the middle of nowhere. I think I can see in the building instructions that here, here, and here there should be gaps which are 1 stud wide. So I think we have done this correctly, but even more annoying are these plates here, or that plate better said. I think it has to be placed at a position where these 2 plates here touch. So you can see here is the gap where they touch, and I think that's the position at where this should sit, in the distance of 1 stud. Also, it's not so easy to see in the building instructions where to place the plates exactly when they are next to each other, because the gaps are barely visible. The brown color doesn't help, and I think the resolution isn't high enough. Everything is a bit muddy and it lacks details. Well, I hope that this was the only part where we run into this problem. In the next step, we start to interlock all these reddish-brown plates here with these plates in tan, and then everything is placed where it should be. Step 14. In this step, we have to place a 1x2 plate above the right half of this 1x2 plate and this 1x1 tile. This might sound a bit ridiculous that we use a 1x1 tile here, because our plate here won't interlock with this tile. Why not simply use a 1x1 plate? Well, I think it actually makes sense, because with placing this 1x1 tile here, we give our wall that we are building right now a structure here. And if we had simply placed a 1x1 plate like here, we wouldn't have these gaps here. It would have looked a bit different. Step 25. It gets harder and harder to read at which step you are. You can't see the 25 here because it's written in black, and the brick shown behind the number 25 is also in black. Step 26 isn't visible either, or at least the number which counts the step. But the 27 here can be read easily once again. Step 67. Right now we are building the cottage store, and yeah, we have done this so far, but now I run into the problem of floating bricks. So to place this 1x2 plate over here, it has to levitate like this just in the air. This is not possible. Let's have a look at the next step. Step 68. Yeah, now we should be able to connect it. So first of all, we have to place this bigger plate here. Oh no, we still can't connect it. You see, it's still flying here. Still a floating brick. Okay, let's have a look at the next step. Step 69. Yeah, now finally things may seem to make sense. Okay, so where do I have 4 of those black plates? 1, 2, 4. Okay. one of those plates goes here. The second one goes here. I think this would have been easier without the door already being attached. Well, okay, the fourth one goes here. Now let's turn it around, and as you can see, finally there are some studs to which we can attach our 1x2 plate. And I pulled off the door, but well, that's not so important. I can reconnect it quite easily. Yeah. Step 105. I like how the window here is done. So we got these two window parts here, which are placed sideways on top of each other, and on their sides they are held by these stacks of 1x1 plate modifieds with clip. This is really a cool technique. Step 331. Have a look at the simple but still amazing building technique here. Look how we have created this arch here. And it's so crazy. I'm absolutely sure this is an illegal building technique. What we did is that we have this arch piece here, and now we stick these 1x2 plates below it, just like this. Here's a third one, and well, we have done it with 4, but I think you get what I want to show you. And now in the next step, everything gets even crazier by adding these slopes to the plates, like this, and this, and so on. When we have a closer look at this construction now, we can see that the plates and this arch here don't interlock perfectly. There are these gaps because, well, the arch is round and the plates are flat. But somehow the clutch power is still enough that everything holds together. And this is really crazy. I have never done this before, and I think it looks really cool. Step 343. In this step and in previous steps, we have to place these tiles here on the balcony. And I haven't done it like shown in the building instructions. When we have a look at the instructions, we can see that the tiles are placed on the plates when the plates are already placed themselves on the pillars here, on these arches. And this isn't the best idea because you can see when I push here, everything goes down a bit. Okay, it doesn't work now because I have already attached the tiles and they support everything, but before the tiles were there, everything was bending downwards when I pushed the tiles on the plates. And so what I did, I removed the plates again, laid them on the table, placed all the tiles, and put everything back again up on these pillars here. You could have also supported everything from below. You can stick your finger underneath everything, so this might have worked too, but I think my way is the faster way. Step 345. We are going to use an illegal building technique here. You can see this brown headlight and this tan headlight are facing each other. So we have to place them like this. And yeah, this doesn't work properly. So it's not one of the good illegal building techniques. It really makes sense that this building technique is illegal, because you can see when we place two of those headlights next to each other, the way that they are facing each other with these hollow studs, then there is this little gap between them. These bricks are a bit wider than normal bricks. So have a look at these bricks here. You can see that because of the studs, they are a tiny bit wider than normal bricks. And so that means when you interlock them on a plate, for example, they will bend. And yeah, this just doesn't work properly. So I will push it down here, but I won't be able to make this look better. Okay, I think I found a solution. Instead of using these reddish-brown headlight bricks, I'm going to use these 1x1 bricks with hole in them. Now let's see if we still have problems with interlocking that stuff. So the brick with the hole in it goes here, and the 10 headlight brick goes here. And yeah, everything works perfectly fine. The only downside of this solution is that these parts didn't come with the set. They are from my own collection. Step 354. In this step we run again into the problem with the reddish-brown headlight. And it's really good that we are not going to use them, that we are using this 1x1 brick with hole in it instead, because there is one of those reddish-brown headlights too few in this set. If we have used the reddish-brown headlight here and here, we would have missed one piece, so we wouldn't be able to place this one. Step 359. As I assumed, the set didn't come with a printed flag, only this white one here. And so I'm not going to use this one, but the one I ordered from Bricklink. We are using this Lego piece here. Can I place it with one hand? Yeah. Et voila. 375. We have built this roof here, and the thing about this roof is that it consists of two parts which are put together by only one single stud. This isn't the sturdiest solution, but luckily the clutch power of these bricks is high enough so it doesn't fall apart. But what really a problem is about this step is that we have to place this clip here, and where? I have not the slightest idea. You can't see it. My guess is that we have to place it on the underside of the roof. So you can see here in the first step of building this roof, we have placed all these clips here, but here is none for some reason. And I guess that we have now to add the missing clip. I can't see anything else where to place it. So I have done several more steps in the meantime, but I want to come back to the roof for a short moment. So you can see here, this is our roof, and I want to show you how I placed it. In the instructions we have completed our roof with all those clips on the underside, and also this wall here is completed. But what I'm going to do now is not putting the roof on here. I, as you can see, have removed this part of the wall and already clipped it to the roof. I also did use way less of those clips, So I removed these 4 clips, and now it's way easier to place the roof correctly in its position. I think it's almost impossible to do it like shown in the building instructions, so I think my way is way easier. One thing that I noticed just a moment ago is that we got these 4 brown rows here of plates. Or yeah, one of these rows are tiles, but it doesn't matter. But when we have a look at the box again, there we can see that we only got 3 brown rows. Not 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Step 422. Nothing has changed in this step. Everything is exactly the same as it had been in step 421. Well, then let's simply skip this step and go on with step 423, I would say. Step 427. In this step we need 4 of these bars here to build these whatever things. And I have done so, but one of the bars was too short. But that's fine, because I seem to have messed up in an earlier step. You can see here where we have placed the flag. This bar here is a longer one, so I just can use this longer bar instead of this shorter one, and the other way around. Oh, I think these things here are wooden pillars. Step 440. Again, there's nothing to do here, so let's skip the step and go on with 441. Step 459. In this step we are building this upper part of the roof. It's the top of the roof, and it is here so we don't have a gap between the bigger roof parts, which we are going to add later. You know, the part here and the part here. And I like how this is connected to the build. So we get, yeah, this line of round bricks here, and now we just slide it into this part here, and we are going to do the same on the other side. I feel this is something which is not so easy with just one hand. But it seems to work. Yeah, just like this. This is another building technique I haven't seen before. Step 474. This step is one of the steps we have to do to build one of the 2 big parts of the main roof. And well, I have placed now these brown plates here, but these orange plates are missing. They are not included in the set. That sucks. Well, but I have seen that we are almost at the end of the instructions, and there are still a lot of those brown plates left over. So these are 2, 4, 6, 8. These are 1 by 8 dark brown, reddish brown plates, and 1 by 1 plates. And now when we count the studs of the orange plates, 4 times 4 studs is 16 studs, plus this 1 by 1 plate, that is 17 studs. And those 2 times 8 studs is 16 studs, plus 1 stud is 17 studs. So what we are going to do now, we simply use these brown plates here instead of the orange ones. Okay, then let me place them. Oh, come on, you little plate. And now the big plate here. Come on. Alright. And now we interlock those two parts here. Then let's have a look at the next step. In this step we add actually a row of brown bricks here. So let's do this too. Okay, now we got this piece here. And in step 476, we are going to add some plates to this side here. 4 of those plates, and we need a 1x1 tile. Where is it? Here I got the 1x1 tile. Okay, now then let's add this stuff too. Oh, I did it the wrong way. This 1x1 plate tile should be on this side, but that doesn't matter for the moment, because I just want to show you something. So in the next step we will place the roof on our building like this. And this is very strange. It is not interlocked. We get here these bars, but there are no clips. It's just sitting here. Alright, but there's also another thing I noticed. Have a look at the instructions, at the box. Here we can see we got only this row of brown tiles here. Well, we got a row of plates behind the row of tiles. And when we have a look at the top here, there's only this row of plates. We are missing the orange row of plates, which we couldn't place because we don't have them in the set. But instead of them I placed the second row of brown plates. So once again, the instructions differ from the completed build on the box. I also placed the roof on the wrong side of the house. It's actually sitting on this side. So now at least the these 1x1 round bricks are at the correct position. So we start with orange bricks here. 2 orange bricks, yeah, 1, 2, and here we start with a 10 brick orange brick, 10 brick orange brick, and yeah, at least this is correct now. Wait a second, This doesn't look correct at all. When we have a look at the instructions, this part of the roof sits in front of this orange row of 1x1 round bricks, which we placed in the beginning of the roof building process. And our part of the roof just sits on top of this row here. And so we also get this gap here. This can't be correct. When I put it like this, it looks even more wrong. And it doesn't hold at all. I'm going to remove one of these two rows here. So I guess the orange rows of plates is wrong. There should only be this one brown row of plates like shown on the box. Alright, now there's only one of those rows of plates left, and so this part of the roof can sit in front of this row of orange 1x1 round bricks. Now we have built this part of the roof correctly according to the box. Well, at least this upper part. We still got one additional row of plates here. But I think the instructions are clearly wrong here, because it doesn't work in reality. We have to build it like shown on the box, at least this upper part here. Step 488. This is the final step, and we only have to place the second half of the roof on the building. But the problem is, this is easier said than done. You can see that this part of the roof, which we placed before, sits in front of this row of 1x1 round bricks in orange. But the second half of the roof sits above, or better said, on this row of round bricks. And I'm not able to push it in front of this row. When I do so, like this, everything starts to bend, or I push the row in the middle up. We could remove the row completely, but this looks also strange. Well, you can see why. Here's not enough space. You see here, there is this stud, and the two parts of the roof should stop well in front of the stud, so that there's still place for, this little bar here. Well, what could we do? One thing would be to remove these rows of plates here. You know that we already have removed the first row of plates. But this would look strange if there's no row of plates at all up here. And it wouldn't look like on the instructions, or better said, like on the box. Another solution would be to remove these bricks here on both sides, because when we have a look here, here are the bars, and they just interfere with the bricks. And when there are no bricks, the bars could go right up to this row of plates here, and then there should be one stud more space on each side if we do this on both of the sides. I'm trying now the thing with removing those bricks. Let's see what happens. Nope, this was too effective. Now everything looks like crap. I have solved the problem, and it was quite easy. What I did was to raise this row of 1x1 round bricks by one plate. I did this by placing a 1x2 plate underneath each of those jumper plates. And, well, those pieces were spare parts, so I didn't have to use pieces from my own collection. That's always good. So we can say there were no missing parts in the set besides, you know, these things here where we needed a 1x1 brick with hole. Okay, then let's put the roof back on, that you can see that I'm not lying. It fits perfectly. Awesome. So, the cottage is complete. And best of all, it's in minifigure scale. Or better, let's place him somewhere down here where we can interlock him, like this. This little cottage really has a fabulous design, at least for such a cute little house. The facade is full of columns and other details. It's really beautiful. I think the house's owner really wants to flex. But well, there is absolutely no interior. We don't even get some floors. There's absolutely nothing inside. I think the area surrounding this house might have needed a bit more green, but I think all the other colors are quite on point. It looks really cool. In most parts, this was very fun to build, and there are really cool building techniques. For example, think of the arches here, how those were done. This was really something I haven't seen before, but the whole thing clearly is a mock. Throughout the building process, the instructions let us place many loose pieces, and it takes 1 or 2 steps until they get interlocked. Also, during the building process, everything appears to be a bit wobbly, but in the end, everything is absolutely sturdy. And well, except this wall here. Have a look. For some reason, it's only interlocked at its lower end, but not on the top. But there are also really some errors in the instructions. For example, this brown brick here and on the other side were intended to be headlights, but you can't place a headlight at this position when its start is facing in this direction or in this direction. You see, here's a headlight right next to the place where you should have placed the headlight, and there is no place for the headlight stud. You can't do this. It wouldn't simply properly interlock, and yeah, you don't do this in your build. What I did now is that I had to interchange these 2 brown headlights with bricks of another type that did not come with the set. The roofs were really annoying. They can't be built like shown in the instructions. You have to modify them a bit. I don't know how this could happen. Didn't anybody do a test before they produced the set? I don't know. This should have been seen immediately. Everybody runs into this problem while building the set, I think. Vladimir is no expert of roofs, I think. I have built his fisherman's house, and there I remember even having more problems with the roof of that set. That was just terrible. But yeah, having the problems with the headlights is one thing, but the roofs, this really should have been seen by the quality control. Another thing is that the base construction doesn't sit completely flat on the ground. The plates here bend upwards. But this is normal with this kind of construction. It has nothing to do with the quality of the bricks. When you work with several layers of plates, it just tends to be like this. This also would have happened with Lego bricks. The Go bricks used here in the set are of absolutely perfect quality. I had no problems with interlocking them, and the clutch power was perfect. They look nice. Everything was absolutely fine. The only point I want to mention here, what I don't like so much, is the injection mark on those, what is it? Olive green plates here. Those injection points are just a bit too visible for me. But at least they are no holes. It's only points, so that's fine. Cool is that the set doesn't use too many different types of bricks. The building process is just way more comfortable when there aren't that many different types of bricks to distinguish from each other. A bit annoying is that there are a lot of 1x1 plates. For example, have a look here, I think, there. Yeah, all over the build we find these 1x1 plates, and those always slow down the building process, and it's very exhausting to place all of them. Well, the set might have some flaws, but I think once it's built up, this beautiful result makes up for the inconveniences.